we're doing parallel and perpendicular lines. So parallel lines, if you see the spelling of parallel, it has two L's, which show you two lines that are parallel. They never are going to cross or touch. Perpendicular lines are when they intersect, like an intersection when you're driving, and there's a 90-degree angle in between each line here. Right here is 90, 90, 90. It's perfect square in the corner. Okay? When you have parallel lines, the slope of both lines is the same. So here's the blue equation. Here's my slope here. Here's my slope here. And you can see both slopes are 2. So the slopes are the same. This is B, the y-intercept. And you can see that this line crosses the y-axis at 3. This one crosses at 1. And so when you have parallel lines, the slopes are the same, but the y-intercepts are different. Now, perpendicular lines, if I have this slope of 2, you have to write it as a fraction, 2 over 1. Now, to get this slope, say you don't know what it is, you have to do the reciprocal. Reciprocal means to flip it upside down, okay? And then you have to make it the negative. So if this is positive, then this one must be negative. And this is my slope of the other line. So you see, you take this, make it a fraction, eglib, flip it, and because this is positive, this one must be negative. Okay. So it says, which functions are parallel? So we look at the number that's in front of the x, and we say, which ones are the same? Ah, here. 2 and 2 are the same. So that means both f, the function f, and the function j are parallel because they have the same slope. Are these two lines parallel? Well, I can see the slope here, but I can't see the slope here. So what I have to do is I have to make it y equals something x plus something, and then look here, and that will tell us the slope. So I take this equation, number 1, move the 6 over, divide everything by 3, and if I put this in my calculator, it's the same as negative 2. Negative 2, negative 2, these slopes are the same, so it means they're parallel. Write a possible perpendicular line for each function. Okay, so here's the slope for this one. So if I want to find a slope for something that's perpendicular, I have to take the slope, oops, it's 1 over 4, do the reciprocal, flip it, and then because this one is positive, this one has to be negative. So, oh, what's 4 over 1? That's the same as just 4. So that's the slope of my new line. So I can make any equation. I just put negative 4x, and then I can choose any number I want here for the y-intercept. So that's, I just chose 10. Doesn't matter. So that's the slope, that's the equation of a line that's perpendicular to this one. Let's do this one. We take negative 9. Oh, we can't flip it yet. We have to make it a fraction. Now we do the reciprocal, flip it. This is negative, so this has to be positive. So that's the slope of my new line. And I can choose any number I want for the y-intercept. So I chose negative 5. It doesn't matter. Okay, so this function is perpendicular to this function, perpendicular. Let's look at the next example. Let's not look at this one. Let's do real questions. Okay. Which functions are parallel? So first I'm going to look at all my slopes. Oh, there's nothing in front of the x. So there's a 1. Oh, there's a 1 here. So look, these ones are both 1. Both the slope is equal to 1, so they're parallel. That's negative 3. That's negative 3. So these two functions, because both the slopes are negative 3, They are parallel. So these are parallel, and then these ones are parallel. Okay, this one, he doesn't have a friend. He's by himself doing his own thing. Okay, are these two equations parallel? Okay, well, here's the slope. And this one has to be the same slope, but I don't see the slope. So I have to make it y equals mx plus b so I can find the slope. So let's write it over here. I'm going to solve for y, so get rid of your 2x. I'm going to write the 2x first because the x term needs to go first. That doesn't have anything in front of the 18, so it's really a plus hiding there. Divide by 3, divide everything by 3. Let's write that nicer. So that's 2 over 3x plus that is equal to 6. So my slope here, is that the same as this? Yes. Because the slopes are the same, it means they are parallel. So yes, they are parallel because the slopes are the same. Okay. Now it says, make a possible perpendicular line for each function. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to do the reciprocal. I'm going to flip it. And this is negative, so this has to be positive, but that's the same as just 2. So now let's pick a letter. This is F, so let's pick G. I have to put the slope in. And I can choose any number I want for the y-intercept. So let's choose, I don't know, 100. Okay, let's put 100 there. So this function is parallel to this function, or perpendicular to this function, because the slopes are negative reciprocals. Let's do the next one. So here's my slope. We have to make it a fraction. Do the reciprocal. This is positive, so this one must be negative. So let's do, I don't know, h. Here's the slope. Put an x next to it. And now you can pick any number you want for the y-intercept. Let's do a negative number this time, negative 100. So this function is perpendicular to this function because the slope, eglum, is you turn it upside down, the reciprocal, and you use the opposite sign. Okay. We have 2 more questions. It says, write the equation in slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form is when we go y equals mx plus b. That's slope-intercept form. The line passes through the point and is parallel to this. Parallel means same slope. So they want a line that has the same slope as this. I can't see the slope. So step 1, we need to find the slope. So I'm going to write this down. And I need to make it y equals blah, 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 blah. And this number here will tell me the slope. So we need y by itself. So let's get rid of the 2x. So then I have 3y equals, I'm going to put the x term first because the x term always goes first. Now the 9 is positive, so I'm going to put a plus there. Get the y by itself, divide by 3, divide by 3, divide by 3. That's 1. So y is equal to minus 2 over 3x plus 3. This is in my calculator the same as this. I'm just going to write this nicer, 2, 3. So now I know my slope is going to be this. Okay. So I have a slope and I have a point. Let's write my point down. Okay. So what's my favorite equation? Okay, I can put my m in. Okay, well that's x, that's y. So I can put x here and I can put y here. Okay, so y is 5. M is negative 2 over 3. X is negative 2. Oops, not equals, plus b. Okay, 5 equals negative 2 times negative 2 is 4 over 3. Oh, I don't like fractions. So I'm just going to go minus 4 over 3, minus 4 over 3. That's gone, and I'm left with, well, I don't know, what's 5 minus 4 over 3? 11 over 3. Okay, so now, step 3, I know my slope, I know my b, so now I can just make my equation. What's my favorite equation? This one. So y is equal to negative 2 over 3x plus 11 over 3. Ta-da! That's it. Okay, let's look at the next question. Write the equation in slope-intercept form. Okay, that's slope-intercept form of the line that passes through the point and it's perpendicular to this line. Perpendicular. That means the slope is we have to do reciprocal and the opposite sign. So if it was positive, it has to become negative. So step 1, we need to find our slope. So I'm going to write this down. And I need to solve for y to find my slope. So plus 2x plus 2x gone. Whoops. 3y equals 2x minus 15. I need to get y alone, so divide everything by 3. That's 1y, so really I can just write y. And if I put that in my calculator, that's equal to negative 5. Okay, so now I know my slope. I would use this slope if it said parallel, but it says perpendicular. So what I want to do is I want to take this slope, do the reciprocal, flip it. This is positive, so this becomes negative. So that's my new slope. So now I've got a point, and I have a slope. What do I do? Okay, what's my favorite equation? Oh, I can put this here. And because this is x and y, I can put the x here and I can put the y here. Okay, so y is 2. Okay, so 2 is equal to 6 times 3 is 18. 18 divided by 2 is 9. So I have to get b by itself. So minus 9 minus 9. So that's minus 7 equals b. Okay. Now, step 3, we can make our equation. So I know m, my slope, and b equals minus 7. How do I make an equation? What's my favorite equation? Okay. I can just put that there, and I can put that there. So, this equation is perpendicular to this line, and because I have a point, I have to put those points in. If they didn't give me a point and they just said make any line that's perpendicular to this one, I wouldn't have to find b. I would just pick any b I wanted. But they said it has to go through this point, so I have to substitute this point into the equation and find the y-intercept that's correct. Okay, so that's it. Oh, just wait. Why did I put b? I should put, silly me. Let's just be minus 7. Because b is minus 7. Okay.